Yesterday, Donald Trump headed to El Paso to comfort the victims of last weekend's terror attacks, but that is an important task for a president. It was difficult for him for a couple of different reasons. One, everything about him, and two, that they didn't want to meet with him. A spokesman for the hospital said that this is a very sensitive time in their lives. Some of them said they didn't want to meet with the president. Some of them didn't want any visitors. Although he also added that two victims who had previously been discharged from the hospital did come to see Donald Trump, but none of the ones that were still in the hospital wanted to. That didn't stop him from going. He did go. He talked with hospital staff and talked as he does.
Job you've done, and they're talking about it all over the world, and it's an honor to be with you. Look at this group of people. Can you believe this? Good looking people.
They're fantastic.
I was here 3 months ago. We made a speech, and we had what was the name of the arena? That place was packed, right?
I was front row.
Right? The judges have respected
I was front row.
What was the name?
I was front row there.
Good. Come here, man. That was some crowd.
Thank you for
And we had twice the number outside. And then you had this crazy Beto. Beto had like 400 people in a parking lot. They said his crowd was wonderful.
Look at me.
But we had some.
Oh, look at that.
Whoa, oh wow, look at that. Look at that, Judge. You see that?
I was encouraging her.
Don't tell it to the press because they won't even believe it. No. They only believe it on voting on the day of the vote. They say, what happened?
Okay, so one of the reasons I wanted to play that was I just wanted to check from you guys. Is it right to despise that 100%? Acknowledging that some of the people who were standing with him, big fans of him, apparently they'd been to his rally, but that was what he talked about while at the hospital.
Yeah, no, not remotely problematic to despise it. So, guys, I mean, look, again, I always wonder with the Trump supporters, like really you think that it's the appropriate thing to do, and always think about the shoe on the other foot. I do that in our case. And I've done it 1,000 times on the show, and I said, guys, remember now, if the shoe was on the other foot, right? If Obama had gone to the hospital where there had been a massacre and over 20 people murdered, and said, people are talking about it all over the world. Like, first of all, even if he just said that, then yeah, because there was a massacre, right? But that's like nothing compared to the rest of it. And then Obama started talking about, oh yeah, my crowd sizes are awesome. And the Republican crowd sizes suck. And that's what we're celebrating here, right? We're not celebrating anything, dude. People are in a hospital because they're injured from a massacre. It's not about you, it's not about you. Even if you were attacked, and in this case, he started it, there was no attack. This, in Ohio, he claims that the Democrats attacked him, nonsense, we'll show you the actual quotes. But in this case, he just comes into the hospital, El Paso, I like El Paso, because I want to be a big crowd. You should have seen the parking lot. If you're
Crazy Beto.
If you're not embarrassed by that as a Trump supporter, there's something off with you. Okay, that's who you are. You're like, oh yeah, you know what? When people almost died, those people in the hospital, and then 22 others died. Well, I talk about me too. I think that's the right thing. You go in there and you brag. That's the right thing to do, brag. Have you ever done that yourself? Like, I keep asking you to think about Trump if he was in your life. Like if you got in a bar and a guy walks in and goes, I'm a very stable genius. I'm known for being a stable genius. You'd run for your life, right? Like in this case, if you're sick and you got shot and an uncle comes by and instead of saying, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right? He starts talking about, oh man, you should have seen how great I am. You'd be like, what? Hey, we were trying to console the person who was shot. He's like, oh, I know, but let's talk about me, okay? And oh my God, my crowd sizes were great, and this other guy was terrible. You'd be like, oh, this uncle's nuts. Like, I'm not sure we should have invited him to the hospital. But apparently Republicans see that and they're like, that's right. You go to a hospital, instead of mourning, you brag about yourself. That's what a man would do. Okay, that's why we live on different planets. That's why you can't understand us and we can't understand you, and you're pretty much the bad guys in the movie.
I mean, there might be those that fit that category of people who are okay with it. I think most Republicans, at least congressional Republicans, probably cringe because they understand the impropriety of what's going on. They understand sort of how, as Cenk says, I had the same thought. Like if you were going to visit somebody in the hospital and there's a guy who walks in and this guy, you're surviving a massacre, and the person comes in and they started talking about like their new car or something. And no, you got to. People are really loving my car. You got to, So I had the same thought Cenk did. Like you try to put yourself in the situation where this series of inappropriate remarks could somehow exist. There's no way you're okay with it. But What Republicans are willing to do is not so much say, yeah, that's the guy we want, but they're willing to overlook it because of a political agenda. I think that is a more common Republican response than being okay with how inappropriate those comments and that disposition was. That's my sense of it.
And they just will never acknowledge that if Obama had done it, that they would have despised them for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But another reason was, so we can dislike it and we could be confused by it, but we know that they love it. They will never tire, just like Trump will never tire of hearing how big his crowd size is, how much he won by, how astounded everyone was. Like, they just want to hear that over and over. And I think it's because that Trump understands that people don't want to focus on themselves and their issues, whether economic or health or whatever. They just want to feel like they're a part of something bigger. Like, a lot of people invest a lot of themselves into a sports team that they like or whatever. For them, the MAGA movement, the crowd, whether they're in it or not, that's who they are. And they also need a mission, and the mission is, who are we going to hate right now? Maybe it's Ilhan Omar, maybe it's AOC, now it's Crazy Beto. Because what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna come as president, I'm gonna come to your city that's reeling from a terror attack, and I'm gonna insult your local politicians. That's what I'm gonna do. And they love it. They want to hear how crazy Beto is.
You know what, it's actually a good analogy, John, because I was thinking, like, when you said sports, yeah, if Terrell Owens was on your team, no matter how much of a jerk he was, you'd be like, yeah, that's right, you stuffed a football into the star. If you're visiting the Cowboys, yes, right? And if he goes to another team, that's some bitch, right? And that's how sports fans are. But that sports is just for fun. So it's okay to like Terrell Owens, even though he's a big loudmouth, etc. I think it kind of adds to the game, and I like the showboating because it's a game.
Yeah.
This is not a game. Those people were nearly murdered, and their friends and their family members were actually murdered. Not fun.
So I just want Beto O'Rourke's response, because we do have another thing to analyze coming out of his trips to the 2 different cities. So Beto O'Rourke responded saying, this community is focused on healing, not hatred, not racism, certainly not crowd sizes. Our community and our country will not be defined by real Donald Trump's smallness. We will be defined by the love, compassion, and strength of El Paso. So that is a responsible, that's a good comment, but it's not as exciting, I guess. So he doesn't get me fired up to hate the other person, so he will probably be forgotten as a result of it.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.